This is Bao TV.
Welcome back to Bao News Network on our latest update for our Bar Headline News report. We're actually taking another look at street feedback regarding pandemic unemployment benefits that have expired, and we're also taking a closer look at complete coverage of Tropical Storm Mindy as it actually develops in the Gulf of Mexico and impacts the region of northern Florida. I am sure that the residents of Tallahassee and Panama Beach, Mexico Beach, Panama City, did not anticipate having to deal with tropical storm force winds in the evening here on Wednesday. But nevertheless, we did anticipate that there was a 40% chance of that disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico actually developing into a possible tropical storm. Some meteorologists had actually anticipated that it would develop into a minimal strength hurricane. So we're going to bring latest coverage of that to you. We'll let you know exactly where it's tracking in the Gulf of Mexico, and as far as the residents of northern Florida going into Georgia, what they should anticipate. We just wanted to take a closer look at, of course, ongoing developments regarding pandemic and unemployment benefits, and we can see that there's quite a bit of chatter with various news organizations with respect to unemployment is high and why are businesses struggling to hire. We see from WSJ that states that cut unemployment benefits saw limited impact on job growth. So the real question is, of course, we had the Great Resignation, as they called it, in the months of April and June, where we saw millions of people resigning from jobs, mostly lower paying jobs, such as in the fast food sector. Many of those going on. Many of them, those workers had aspired to work and to elevate their earnings and upgrade their possible opportunities by going into possibly the service sector, whether it be in hospitality or telecommunications with respect to call centers. But we do see, with respect to August, that there was disappointing job growth in August, as of course a pandemic continues to plague the United States with the new variant. But of course, we're still dealing with elevated unemployment rates, and whether those unemployment rates truly reflect the actual number of people who are actually unemployed in the United States, that remains to be seen. But as the pandemic unemployment benefits have ceased as of Labor Day weekend, there is speculation that what will actually start to occur is that for millions of people, the situation will actually become worse. Will they actually just start to live below their means, or will they start to increase? Will we see an uptick in the number of applications that are actually put out there for so-called 10 to 15 million job openings that are stipulated in by most news media. So that remains to be seen. As we look closer, we can actually see from our street tweets, just taking some feedback from Twitter as far as what the chatter is out there. Some people are actually saying here, we have Mike Richardson stating that claims came in lower than expected with minimal revision to last week's numbers. And of course, we did see that the numbers for August did trickle in and they were below average, and claims by 14,000 fell by 14,000 to 340,000 during the week ending 27th of August. So there is a lot of chatter there with regards to continued claims, as well as the low number of jobs that were actually created in August. So that is a major impact. Do keep in mind that many people are barely surviving on a fraction of wages prior to the pandemic, even with the extra $300 a week that they earned. And the main pinch here are single moms who, of course, as we see more and more schools going into quarantine with escalating numbers, and the pandemic is now affecting more a younger crowd, we see more people are escalating their mitigation by actually returning to homeschooling or considering the virtual schooling option once again. So this is a main concern, and we surely will see possibly an impact for the September numbers as far as the number of jobless claims across the country, as well as the number of jobs that were created. But we do see that jobless Americans are scrambling, and basically we're seeing that many of them feel that they have been left without any options, especially with the pandemic surge. And it remains to be seen for the months of September and October what the job growth is going to be. So as we take a closer look, of course, all of these articles, if you want to study the situation with regards to the pandemic and the job growth, the links are actually in our description box of this video, and also the links to our Twitter, our street tweets contributors. Please feel free to subscribe to their Twitter page for more information and more elaboration on their feedback. So as we take a look at the tropics here at Bao News Network, we're seeing quite a bit of activity. What has actually started to happen is that we see that tropical storm Mindy has actually developed in the Gulf of Mexico, and there we see actually aiming for North Florida. But the temperatures across the country have quite escalated. We've seen red in California, a max of 105, Las Vegas coming in at 105, Phoenix 104, and these are of course all in the drought stricken monitor area. And we have Yuma, Arizona coming in at 105 today with a max of 107. And Los Angeles, of course, is experiencing a little bit more of the coastal ocean breeze, and that's actually keeping the temperature down at 78 with a max of 79. But then we go back to Laredo, Texas, and we see that the max was actually 101, and they actually achieved that today. Temperatures in Miami, as they anticipate more squalls of thunderstorms as a result of tropical storm Mindy impacting the region, are 90 degrees. Atlanta is 81, and New York City is 81 with a max of 83. And we do see clearly tropical storm Mindy actually making its way through the region, and we do anticipate that it's going to bring a tremendous amount of rainfall, especially to the region of Tallahassee going into South Georgia. It is moving at about 21 miles per hour based on the most recent update, and we do anticipate that as it moves through the region, it's going to inundate and really saturate the area with a lot of rainfall going into the today and tomorrow. So residents in northern Florida should anticipate that they will actually experience quite a bit of heavy rainfall going into the latter part of tonight. Severe thunderstorms are forecasted for the region in Tallahassee as well as Macon, Georgia, extending all the way to Atlanta. It is anticipated also that residents in Central Florida, they will actually receive thunderstorm activity even along the west coast down into Tampa and St. Petersburg. Closer look at our projection for Mindy. Keep in mind we do have Hurricane Larry that is actually honing down on Bermuda. And as it makes its way past Bermuda, sometime tomorrow, we're going to see it actually skirt along. They will actually receive most likely tropical storm force winds as it makes its path just to the east of Bermuda, skirting and actually heading northeast further into the Atlantic. But Hurricane Larry is a very strong hurricane at 110 miles per hour, moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. And of course, we do see the tropical storm warnings in effect for tropical storm Mindy along the panhandle coast of Florida. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles per hour, and it's moving relatively quickly. So by tomorrow midday, it will be downgraded most likely to a depression, but still bringing a lot of rainfall, especially residents in the region of Jacksonville, all the way up to South Carolina. and even Raleigh should anticipate, Wilmington and Raleigh should anticipate pretty heavy downpours and scattered thunderstorms, even with tropical storm force winds as the system makes its way into the Atlantic. So if we take a look at our Doppler radar, as we had stated earlier, we do see a clear presence, almost a distinct eye, actually moving along the coast near Panama City into the region of Tallahassee and Valdosta, Georgia. And as we see in the Valdosta area, Albany area, we do see that this system is going to be bringing quite a bit of rainfall. It's those outer squalls are going to be impacting possibly even even to cities in Alabama as it makes its way into the region. So residents along that coast, Mexico Beach, Panama City, Crawfordville, should anticipate significant shower activity throughout the remainder of the night as the system makes its way through. Now keep in mind, 40 miles per hour, these are strong gusts coupled with scattered thunderstorms, and also there is a possibility of significant convection, which might lead to possibility of tornadoes touching down. But we do have a flash flood advisory there from Laguna Beach all the way up to Crystal Lake, across to the region of Mexico Beach. And we anticipate that those flash flood advisory regions will be in effect throughout the remainder of the night as Tropical Storm Mindy makes its presence known in northern Florida, honing down on the region of Tallahassee and Quincy and Woodville area. We do see outer squalls possibly impacting all the way down to the west coast of Florida, such as Tampa and St. Petersburg, with scattered thunderstorms throughout the evening. So we're going to continue to monitor the effects of Tropical Storm Mindy as it makes its way through the region. And this, of course, we had anticipated this tropical depression maturing into a tropical storm as it made its way from the Yucatan Peninsula with scattered thunderstorms. But we do see a very, very distinct cyclonic formation there as far as circulation there as it makes its way into Mexico Beach and Panama City. So we anticipate that that region right now is inundated with a lot of strong thunderstorm activity, and we see from local spotter reports that there is heavy rain, possibly flooding in the region. We just see local spotter reports in there, Lynn Haven, possible flooding in that region, and of course that the entire region is sectioned off for possible flash flood advisory all the way from Crystal Lake down to Port St. Joe at this time as Tropical Storm Mindy makes landfall in the region of northern Florida as it makes its way into southern Georgia. So we're going to continue to monitor Tropical Storm Mindy, and we anticipate that it will be dissipating as it exits the continental United States, but of course leaving a path of severe thunderstorms as it makes its way into North Florida, into South Georgia, and it will probably be downgraded to depression by the time of midday tomorrow. But it's gonna bring a significant amount of rainfall to that southeastern region. So we do appreciate all of our subscribers tuning in for our latest Bow Headlines news report. Please stay tuned for our latest notifications, and also subscribe. We will continue to take a look at the very latest news, bring you the latest information, and of course the latest coverage regarding the weather. And here we are in the peak of hurricane season, so of course make sure that you subscribe, like, and share to this video. We do live stream to YouTube and Facebook, and we appreciate all of our subscribers tuning in, and thank you so much for watching Bow News Network and our latest Bow Headline News Report. And of course, stay tuned for the latest breaking news and great stories streaming. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Thank you.
This is Bao TV.